Today we'll be talking about Spider-Man. Yep, they released a new Spider-Man movie and I watched it. So, is this movie good or is it overrated? That's the question we'll be answering today. I already spoiled the whole part on this channel, so yeah, you don't. Basically those weeks were right. Someone did die in the movie. But since everybody's seen this movie, basically, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of like spoiling Endgame 4 months after the movie actually came out. I know there's probably like two people who didn't watch Endgame or Infinity War or this movie, but there's always probably gonna be people who have not seen this movie. Yeah. So we'll be going over, is this movie good or bad? So the humor, there wasn't much humor. The movie is, more serious. There is some humor moments, but they're not as much as, the previous two Spider-Man movies. Okay, they're not. It's the humor is not. There's not much as compared to Endgame. Even Endgame has more humor. Again, humor. But Marvel was not always known for the humor. It was really just for they had some humor in some, and Marvel became known for the humor in like movies like Guy into the Galaxy, and then they started to put humor in like every movie. But sometimes you need to have a more serious movie with more serious stakes in the movie. So basically, the plot is Spider-Man, wants everybody to forget about him. Once again, at the end, he finally decides to just accept that it's his fate, and that he has to make everybody forget about him. And basically, he screwed up the spell because he doesn't want everybody to forget. He doesn't want specific people to forget who he is. Even though he could have just listed all of the people at once, and this movie would have all this problems would not ended. But basically, all of these villains from previous Spider-Man movies come in, and basically, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange said, "Oh, I want them to go back because dying is basically what they're supposed to do." Okay, but Tom Holland said, "Okay, I want them all to be redeemed and not be evil anymore. Okay, to be cured of the evil." And basically, they got to kill the octopus guy, and he actually becomes a good guy. And at the end, they kill all of the villains, and basically they get the two other Spider-Mans. And I don't know why they're trying to hide this even in the Blu-ray. Like they're trying to tell you that they're not in the movie. Even if you look at Google, they tell you that they're in the movie. Ansel Garfield and Tobey Maguire. Everybody knows they're in the movie. I don't know why they have to hide it in the promotions. you know, they're like, oh, it's a big spoiler that they're in the movie. But if you look up the movie, oh, they're in the movie. Oh, you know, it's like the big surprise of the movie. Okay, that they're bringing back the old Spider-Mans because they want to make it a surprise, so people come in and be unexpected. Okay, where it's more and more and more movies are pandering and catering towards the fan base instead of Twitter. Okay, the newest Jurassic Park is doing that. You have the Sonic movies and you have the newest Ghostbusters. Okay, the only company that isn't really doing this is Disney. Okay, which again, this movie was made by Sony, not Disney. I guess I would, I could tell this people 100 times, but people would still say Spider-Man No Way Home is a Disney movie. I would say it's a Marvel movie because there's still a lot of people who don't know that Disney owns Marvel because they don't see the Disney castle at the beginning. So yeah, the action scenes. Okay, the action scenes are pretty good. For all the Spider-Man, the action scenes that they do with Spider-Man movies have gotten better. I think the worst one is the first one as well, and the action scenes in the first one is probably the worst. So it's called Homecoming, and then the second one it was better, and then this one is better than the second one. So it seems that we have seen that there's a general improvement over the quality of movie in there as well. And the action scenes as well are pretty good. They're basically like the typical Marvel quality action scenes. And the story is pretty good. You have stakes in the story. You have there's a lot of like really bad stories of like no stakes whatsoever, and they're like non-existent. You know, or the stakes are ruined because of some MacGuffin. Again, not every movie needs to have like evil and good crashing against each other. There's a lot of good stories. There's no like evil, and it's just a slice of life movie. But, you know, basically at the very, very end, spoil again, there's spoilers for this movie. You know, there was also a scrapped Venom plot in this movie as well, but there was also two post-credit scenes where Venom gets trapped in the MCU part of Venom, and Doctor Strange basically an advert for that movie telling you, hey, go watch that movie when that comes out, basically. Basically, I think, so because, yeah. But yeah, that means Venom will basically be returning. And yeah, the Green Goblin and all of the other Spider-Man villains as well. And basically at the beginning, Spider-Man always fought Doctor Octopus, so they don't really have to, you know, fight him again. But so yeah, basically they redeem all of the villains in the movie as well. So yeah, I have no idea what the future of Marvel will be. Okay, there's the 4 movie coming out. There is the Doctor Strange movie, Black Panther 2, Marvels. Again, what happened in 2021 could just be a fluke. Okay, with the other 3 Marvel movies that they released this year. I have not seen the Eternals. I have no plan on seeing the Eternals still. Okay, yeah, I still haven't watched the Eternals. I still have no plan of seeing the Eternals. Eternals, basically, there was really like no point in making a movie about characters that really nobody cares about. So overall, this movie was good. I didn't think it was any, it is definitely up there on the higher tier Marvel movies. Definitely up there in the higher tier Marvel movies. But I don't think it's the best movie of the year. Yeah, I know people could be angry at that. It's not the best movie of the year. How dare you? I still think Dune was better, and I think that Zack Snyder's Justice League was better than this movie. I would put this movie at third place of best movies of the year, which is still very, 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 very good because there's a lot of really great movies that came out of this year. So that's basically about Spider-Man. Goodbye.